to BBR Big Bust Radio alongside my co-hosts Justin Fitzgerald and Michael Carnuccio, and today we'll be talking about the biggest draft busts in sports history. What do you think, Justin?
Well, obviously, Jamarcus Russell's up, but I'd like to start off with a guy. I'm from Baltimore, close to the D.C. area. Kwame Brown, he was a huge bust. Michael Jordan picked this guy out of high school, really just started his terrible career as an NBA executive. Kwame Brown, what has he done in the league besides just sit on the bench and mop up dude? He hasn't done anything. For a guy who's the number one pick, he's the reason guys shouldn't be coming out of high school.
Yeah, it's worked in other places, but Kwame Brown was not one of them.
Tyson Chandler, you had a guy who could actually do something. And Kwame Brown, come on, Jordan. You got to know something about the game. It does kind of fit out that it's the Wizards, though. So.
Guys, one of the guys I look at is Adam Pac-Man Jones, but even worse than that, I got to look at Sam Bowie, who, drafted in the 1984, taken second overall, and his stats aren't bad. He ended up having averaging 10.9 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.8 blocks in his career. But at the end of it all, he was drafted in front of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and John Stockton. How can you be drafted in front of those guys and only put up those kind of numbers?
And he did set the precedent for the bad knees for Portland Trailblazers. Teddy, do you want to get into something before we go to a call or a quick word?
Yeah, I'll jump into Jamarcus Russell, first pick of the 2007 draft. Honestly,
your player's bad when they want to retire your number because you're so bad.
Yeah, the Raiders just don't want to be associated with the number 2 anymore. But this man just didn't produce. He's still trying to get back in the league, but he essentially stole $60 million from the Raiders and should be arrested for it because he did absolutely nothing on the field. He got involved in drug bust. It's probably the low point in his career right now. Trying to get fit. I don't know if that's possible because he's always looked overweight. I don't know how this. He was fantastic at LSU, and
he was very good.
It was a no question number 1 pick in the 2007 NFL draft. He just did not follow through.
Yeah, over Calvin Johnson too, which really looks bad for Raiders. All right, we're gonna go to a caller, Emily from Los Angeles. You're on.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest draft bust in the 2013 NBA draft?
All right, personally, I'm not a big Alex Len fan. I've been saying here all week, I don't know. Every time I watch him play, he will show up and grab 25 and 10 in one night, and the next night he'll be playing against mediocre defenders from Wake Forest or Virginia Tech, and he can't even score 4. He's a decent defender. He just doesn't have the footwork. He's not a guy who can easily contribute to in the beginning of your career, which you want from a number 1 pick. He might end up like Roy Hibbert, what they did with him at Georgetown. And he was a guy who came in his freshman year, barely played, got a lot better by his senior year, and is now a solid starter, good defender in the NBA.
I'm going to take Shabazz Muhammad from UCLA, simply because of the fact that you never want to take freshmen from UCLA in a draft.
Kevin Love was a freshman.
That's true, and Drew Holiday came out of UCLA, but I just don't like how it is. No experience. The Bruins really weren't good at all this year. I'd stay away from him. In the NFL draft, I know it wasn't asked, but we're not sure if we're going to find any quote-unquote busts because no really high offense position players were taken. It was a high offensive lineman, DN, top 15 until E.J. Manuel was picked. And you could call E.J. Manuel a bust if he doesn't work out with the Buffalo Bills, but he honestly already has that label. And at 15, you're not really sure if you want to qualify that as a bust.
That's probably the biggest bust potential.
Let's take a second caller real quick. We're going to take it from Jim Braden from Chicago. Jim?
Hey guys, I wanted to know what you guys think of who's going to win the Super Bowl next season. I see one of your. I hear one of your hosts is a big Ravens fan, and I think they'll repeat. So can you please tell me?
Honestly, I think the Ravens still do have a good shot. I don't think they'll repeat. Their defense maybe a little weaker. The whole pressure on Flacco, and it just hasn't worked out for teams to repeat. But honestly, I like the 49ers' chances next year. I personally saw them play the Super Bowl. They're a strong team, strong defense. Colin Kaepernick has the potential to become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and possibly become a Hall of Fame quarterback. And Jim Harbaugh, he has it figured out. He has the most success over 2 years of any coach in the history of the NFL. Look what he did at Stanford. He built that team to win. 49ers builds the team into a winner. And if he gets his guys, gets his locker room, that team, they're capable of winning multiple championships.
Justin, I would go to the AFC actually, and I would take the Denver Broncos simply because you gotta have faith in your quarterback. And I don't think I've ever doubted Peyton Manning once in my life, even when he was injured. But just the acquiring of Wes Welker, just making that offense even better with Doomerville and all these different guys on the defense who can really step.
Doomerville's in Baltimore now.
Oh. My bad. But a great offensive attack. I just definitely see the Denver Broncos making it to the Super Bowl fairly easily and definitely winning.
Yeah, I mean, a sleeper pick would have to be the Saints. I mean, you brought it up yesterday too, but with Sean Payton coming back, you never can count out on Drew Brees. We really know that he can throw the ball in the air. So that wraps up our Big Bust Radio for Justin Fitzgerald and Michael Cornuccio. This is Teddy Riley.
And we'll be back with the top 10 hottest athletes.